Today, you are going to learn a lot of idioms, and many of these idioms are from the United States, which is where I am from. My name is Wes, and the channel is Interactive English. And if you enjoy learning idioms, please subscribe, turn on notifications, so that way I can become your teacher. So I am going to tell you the meaning of the idiom, talk about how it's used, give you some example sentences. And what I've done is I've taken the very best of our idiom lessons and put them together so that you can learn many idioms in just 1 hour. So let's begin. Today's lesson is all about money. I want to talk to you about money. This is a very important topic. Many people out there, they love money. Everybody wants money. We all need money in order to survive. So I want to teach you some common idioms and expressions that are all related to money. I will tell you the idiom and then talk about the meaning. And I'll also try to discuss how you would use this idiom. And then finally, I'll show you some video clips so that you can see how the idiom or expression is used in context. Now, keep in mind, I'm from the United States, so some of the idioms may be specific to the US. However, I think that they are very common and well known, that people all over the world from other English-speaking countries will likely understand these idioms and expressions as well. So the first idiom, it's just a word, the first word that I have for you, and this one I think is more specific to the United States, is the word buck. It is an informal word, and a buck is just talking about $1. $1 is $1. Now, you would use this word, I think, mostly when talking about smaller amounts of money. You're not going to hear people talk about 1 billion bucks. That's, people would use dollars in that case. But if you're talking about a small amount of money, people may say bucks instead of dollars. Like, hey, do you have a couple of bucks? Or can I borrow a few bucks? And that's how I think most people would use this word when they want to say $1. Instead, they're just going to say $1.
Well, we gave him a few bucks.
I only got a couple bucks.
I made a few bucks.
Okay, whatever. Look, if you're hungry, man, I can loan you $1.
It'll be worth a few bucks.
Come on, Homer, I just want a quick look-see. Pay $1.
$1, eh?
Then we have to cost an arm and a leg. And this just means that, it just means that something is expensive. So instead of saying that, that car, it's really expensive, you could say, it cost an arm and a leg. I think people would use it when they're describing something that's expensive, but in a way, I think they're also saying that they don't think it's worth that much money, that it costs too much. It should not be that expensive. So when you say, something cost an arm and a leg, you're basically saying that it's too expensive, that it should not cost this much money. But in general, it's just really expensive. These lessons, they don't cost an arm and a leg. They're free.
This is an advanced computer system. Costs an arm and a leg.
Cost me an arm and a leg. It's got GPS navigation, 200-watt stereo system.
Question, get rid of the old sandwich vending machine in the lobby, which costs us an arm and a leg to rent, and no one uses it.
Then we have the expression, pony up. And if you tell someone to pony up, you're just telling them to pay money. And it's money that they owe, that they should pay. And sometimes it may be to settle a debt. And you tell this other person, like, hey, okay, you need to pony up. You need to pay some money. So this is it's a very informal expression, but it's one maybe you would hear somebody use this if you're watching a TV show or a movie and somebody needs to pay money for something. And the other person might say, hey, okay, you need to pony up. You need to pay your money. You need to pony up.
It's a company party and you're the CEO, so pony up.
No, if anyone should pay, it should be you.
If this thing with Bobby goes to trial, we're gonna have to pony up some serious upfront cash.
What you should do is have him sponsor you for the dance. Ask the manager to pony up a couple $100.
Yeah, $10 a dance.
So if she makes it through 20 dances, you need to pony up $200 towards her class trip to DC.
Then we have the expression, put your money where your mouth is. And this is one of my favorite expressions. And it just means that it could mean a couple of things. It could mean that somebody is spending money in order to improve a bad situation, that someone needs to put their money where their mouth is. Or you could say that you are telling somebody that they need to spend money so that you know that they mean what they say. And they're not just talking. That instead of just talking, you'd say, okay, look, put your money where your mouth is. You need to spend money to show me that you are being serious, to show me that what you're saying is true. It is believable. Put your money where your mouth is. And again, I guess I would say that this expression doesn't always have to be talking about money and spending money. In another way, it's telling somebody to basically, well, do what you say. If you are talking and saying all these things and the other person, maybe they don't believe you, then they might say, look, okay, let's see, put your money where your mouth is. Let's see if you do what you're saying. Put your money where your mouth is.
Put your money where your mouth is. Us against you. 10 boots, 5 against 5.
You're gonna have a drink. Come out for a drink with me and see who's more of a laugh. Yeah, put your money where your mouth is.
I wouldn't want to get any exhaust on that pretty face.
Let you put your money where your mouth is.
Next is the idiom to make ends meet. And this just means that you are earning enough in order to live. That you're not making a lot of money and you have all this extra money lying around. If you make just enough in order to live, then you could say that you are making ends meet. Or perhaps you may hear somebody say, well, we're just trying to make ends meet. We're trying to make enough in order to live, to make ends meet.
Would you describe your financial circumstances?
I was struggling to make ends meet.
You were a waitress for 6 years, and I could never make ends meet.
Tara and I are trying to buy a house, and we're, struggling to make ends meet. And
she'd put in the bushels and stuff and sell it, because they had to, make ends meet and stuff.
The next expression is to be loaded. And loaded, it's just an adjective, and it's used to describe someone who has a lot of money, who is very wealthy. You could say, this person is loaded. He's loaded. She's loaded. I think, many of us out there, we'd like to be loaded because, well, it's nice if you don't have to worry about money, because there are many of us out there just trying to make ends meet. We just want to make enough money, although it'd be nice one day to be loaded. All right?
Hey, Travis.
Hey, you got that 5 you owe me?
My man is loaded.
He's loaded, is that it?
The Sapersteins are
loaded.
The stuff we smashed is worth nothing compared to that thing. These guys must be loaded.
Then we have the expression to look like $1 million. Now, first, I want to tell you that before I said that you don't use the word bucks when talking about a large sum of money, except with this expression, to look like $1 million, or you could say to look like $1 million. It means the same thing. But when you use this expression, you are saying that a person looks very nice, they look very elegant, and you're talking about, most of the time, I think it's talking about the way they look, the way they're dressed, the way they've styled their hair, and you could say, wow, you look like $1 million. It's a way that you can give a compliment to someone. So I think you would say this to somebody if there is a very formal event and everybody's getting dressed up and they come out of the room and you see them for the first time and you could say, wow, you look like $1 million. You look like $1 million. I love it if somebody were to tell me, hey, Wes, you look like $1 million. It would make me feel good. And right now, I want to tell all of you, I have no idea what you're wearing right now, but doesn't matter. I think you look like $1 million. You look like $1 million. I just wanted to let you know.
Come on, what? You look great, okay? You look great. You look like $1 million.
Yeah. Terrific, wonderful. You look great. You look like $1 million.
Man, can I say you look like $1 million?
I have never been able to wear that dress because I just couldn't pull it off, and now you just look like $1 million.
Then I have a couple of phrases that mean the same thing, and that is shell out and fork over. And you can use these interchangeably, and it just means to pay for something. And you may hear somebody say, oh, you need to shell out some cash if you want to buy this thing that cost an arm and a leg, or you need to fork over some money if you want to purchase this thing. Again, you can use these two phrases interchangeably. They are very informal, so I don't think you're necessarily going to use them all the time in conversational English, but try to listen for them the next time you're watching a TV show or watching a movie. To shell out, to fork over, to pay for something.
He's trying to get Big Bad Dwight to shell out for a huge repair job while Lucky Jimbo gets a paid vacation.
Yeah, he most certainly is. People to fork over 80 grand for that.
Well, I've been on the phone all afternoon.
Oh, yeah?
Had to shell out $5,000 to the Breckoffs.
Next is the expression rags to riches. So if you say that somebody went from rags to riches, then you are just saying that in the beginning they were very poor. And then later on, they became very wealthy. So you're describing a person's situation over time. And you could say that they went from rags to riches, or that they have a story that is rags to riches. They were poor and then they became rich. Rags to riches.
So what is the secret of this rags to riches story?
Here they come now, the rags to riches, Cinderella contenders.
It's like a true rags to riches story, but I've always found middle class to be just so much more real.
Then we have the idiom bread and butter. And if you are talking about somebody's bread and butter, then you are just talking about their main source of income. And that would pretty much be somebody's job. And for example, I could say, well, making these English lessons on YouTube, it's our bread and butter. This is the primary way we are trying to make a living. Right now, we're making ends meet, but hopefully maybe in the future, at some point, we'll be loaded and it will be a story of rags to riches. I just want to give you a quick little review because I think the more you hear these idioms and expressions being used, the more likely you are to remember their meaning. So if we're talking about bread and butter, specifically, you're talking about the way, what somebody does to make their living and to make money, their bread and butter.
Restoration Antiques. It's my bread and butter.
I'm a scientist. My ability to think is my bread and butter.
Then we have foot the bill. And to foot the bill just means to pay for something. You are paying for some bill. When I think of this idiom being used, I think it's often used to describe a situation in which someone else might be paying for this thing. Someone else is footing the bill. You could use it if talking about yourself, that you're trying to pay for this, but I think quite often it's used when you're referring to another person paying for this thing. So for example, maybe if the next lesson I show up with these expensive clothes and I look like $1 million, and you think, wait a second, I know that these YouTube videos, this is Wes's, that's his bread and butter. He's just making ends meet right now. I wonder who's footing the bill. Who's paying for those clothes because they cost an arm and a leg? Who's footing the bill?
You would not have to do a thing, and Philippe will foot the bill.
You got your money's worth.
What? I foot the bill while you played Mother Teresa.
We estimate the damage at $75, and frankly, we think it's terribly unfair that other taxpayers should foot the bill.
Next is the idiom break the bank. And to break the bank means that you try to buy something that really it costs too much and you cannot afford it. And you could say that, well, it's going to break the bank. You will go into debt because this thing costs too much, cost an arm and a leg, you can't afford it, and it's gonna break the bank. Or maybe you're trying to tell someone that, well, hey, don't worry, I can afford this. It's not going to break the bank. So you may hear this idiom being used in either the affirmative or the negative. So in the affirmative, you'd say, well, it's gonna break the bank. We can't afford it. Or if you want to reassure someone that you can afford this thing, hey, don't worry, it's not gonna break the bank. But to break the bank means that you can't afford it, and you will likely go into debt.
Are you looking for a mattress that won't break your back or the bank?
If you want to be like me, you gotta make snap decisions. We're going to break the bank at the Monty Burns Casino!
Then we have the word penny pincher. It is a compound noun because it's talking about a person who really tries to save all their money. And they really just don't like to spend their money. And you could say, well, yeah, this person is cheap. You could say he is a penny pincher or she is a penny pincher. They just really want to save all their money and they don't want to spend anything. A penny pincher.
How can you afford a maid on what I'm overpaying you?
Oh, well, you see, Mr. Penny Pincher, I mean,
You got another job on the side.
Then we have the expression pick up the tab or pick up the check. And they mean the same thing, and it just means to pay for a bill, to pick up the tab or pick up the check. Often I think of a restaurant, and perhaps at the end of the meal, the bill comes and you might say, hey, don't worry about it. I'm going to pick up the check or I'm going to pick up the tab. I am going to pay for this bill. To pick up the tab or pick up the check.
I'll pick up the check.
Okay. You're gonna pick up the tab,
Yes,
right?
that's on me.
Great.
Pick up the check.
I have to pick up the check.
Because you're LeBron James.
So there you have it. Those are some great idioms and expressions that are all related to money.
We are in Paris, the city of lights, or the city of arts and culture.
So today we're going to talk to you about some idioms and expressions that are related to art.
And culture.
That's coming up. It is a gorgeous day out. Perfect day to see all the sights of Paris. That is the Louvre, one of the most famous museums in the world. Check out this view right here.
We're the Eiffel Tower. Or kind of. It's right there.
So since we are in Paris, which is a city very well known for its art and culture, we're going to talk to you about some expressions and idioms that have words related to art in them.
Of course.
So the first expression I want to talk to you about is to paint yourself into a corner. And when somebody paints themselves into a corner, that just means that they are put into a situation where there is no or there are very few good outcomes, and they are painted into a corner. It's not a good place to be.
But I bet he regrets it.
He's painted himself into a corner.
But Nick has been painting me into corners since we were kids.
We painted ourselves into a corner. And now, we have to paint ourselves out.
So there's a famous saying that goes, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And what this means is that you can have a complex idea that can be expressed in just one single picture. Better expressed, in fact, than a description. So there's so much more that a picture says than words can say. A picture is worth 1,000 words.
A picture's worth 1,000 words.
A picture's worth 1,000 words.
A picture's worth 1,000 words.
Another expression is to paint the town red. And when you go out and you paint the town red, that just means that you are going out and you are partying and you are celebrating in a very lively way. As an example, you would say, you know, let's go out tonight, let's paint the town red.
The world is your oyster. Kick up your heels. Paint the town red.
Smithers, don't you know how to paint the town red?
Oh, we're gonna paint the town red tonight.
Let's paint the town. We'll shut it down.
Another expression is to see the big picture or to look at the big picture. And this just means to see the situation as a whole. Because sometimes it's very important to, instead of like looking at little details, to look at the situation as a whole, and that means to look at the bigger picture or to see the bigger picture or the big picture. Chilling on a bench, as you can see behind us. Oh, where did it go?
It's the other way.
I can't show you. There we go. It's the Eiffel Tower. So we're gonna share our favorite things about Paris right now.
What is your favorite thing about Paris?
The food, hands down.
That was gonna be mine.
Everything. All the food is just like, the ingredients are simple, high quality, and just well put together. It's really good.
I like the croissants, or here the croissant. Just
Why is your nose so red?
Because we were out in the sun all day yesterday.
And somebody
it's
got
very
us
red. What's your favorite site?
I like the Versailles, the gardens. I thought they were really, really impressive. Wes, tell me your favorite French word.
French word?
Mm-hmm.
I've been saying merci.
Merci, okay.
Yeah, I've been using that.
Okay, what about...
My only word. Favorite French word?
Amour.
What?
Amour? I don't know how to pronounce it.
Favorite English channel?
Interactive English, obviously.
All right, let's keep moving. Another expression that I say quite often is you just say, what's wrong with this picture? And when you're asking somebody what's wrong with this picture, it means that you're asking this person or a group of people to identify what is wrong with this situation and seeing if they can identify it. So you're kind of asking them in a sarcastic way. What's wrong with this picture?
Guys, what's wrong with this picture?
So what's wrong with this picture? Can't be as simple as it seems.
Look at this sorry, miserable, squashed thing. Can anybody tell me what's wrong with this picture?
So this is an expression that's also a question, and it goes, do I have to paint you a picture? And it's kind of like when you're trying to explain something to somebody and they just don't get it at all. This is kind of asking like, what else can I do to make you understand this? You're trying to make it more clear for them. You're a little bit frustrated that they don't get it, and you're just asking them, do I have to paint you a picture? So you're just kind of trying to see like, I've tried all these ways to explain it. What else can I do to make you understand this?
Another idiom is saying that something is like watching the paint dry. This is a simile because we're comparing two things, and you're saying that something is like watching paint dry. So you're talking about something that is very boring, it's dull, it's tedious, and it takes a long time. So therefore, it's like watching the paint dry.
So another expression is to paint a picture. And why I made that sound, because you can change the adjective. So something can paint a terrible picture, can paint a bleak picture, can paint a rosy picture. And what this means is to describe something in a certain way. And many times it's used in a negative way. So when if something paints a terrible picture, it means that things appear to be pretty bad.
Paint a pretty graphic picture in training.
You continue to paint far too bleak a picture of Lord No.
You painted an extreme picture. These particular circumstances paint a thorough picture of the horrific events endured in Selma.
Hope you guys enjoyed learning these expressions and getting a glimpse of our trip to Paris. So, since everyone is so excited for the World Cup, I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk to you about some popular soccer idioms and expressions. And yes, I said soccer because I'm an American, even though the rest of the world pretty much says football. Not sure why we say soccer, Americans just do, but we do a lot of things that don't make much sense. Keep in mind that even though these idioms are related to soccer and sports, they can be used in a variety of different situations and contexts, and I will show you that and give you some examples as we go through these expressions. The first expression I have for you is to keep one's eye on the ball. So when you're playing soccer or just about any sports, you need to look at the ball. You need to know where it is, and you have to keep your eye on it. So this basically means that you really have to pay attention and stay focused to the activity that you are doing. This could be used not only in sports, you could use it in business as well, that you need to stay focused on what you're doing, or even in school, you need to pay attention, you need to keep your eye on the ball.
Okay, you're doing good. Okay, keep your eye on the ball.
I'm gonna keep my eye on the ball. Emily and I have a future with the playing. Maybe that's true, but you need to keep your eye on the ball.
The next expression is a little similar, but it's still different, and that is to be on the ball. So if you say that you are on the ball, it just means that you are really alert and you are aware of everything that's going on, that you're doing things right, and you say, you know, today I'm really on the ball. I'm really sharp. I know what's happening. I'm focused. I'm on the ball. One of my favorite idioms is to get the ball rolling. And when we say this, it means that we want to start something. So it means pretty much exactly what it says. So if we have a ball and we want to start rolling it, then we get the ball rolling. We start moving along. Many times I would walk into a classroom and we're getting ready to begin class, and I'd say, all right, guys, let's get the ball rolling. Let's begin.
I'll tell you what I think just to get the ball rolling.
$2.27.
Whoa, look at you. You did pretty well.
Really, because I put in the first two. To, get the ball rolling and to make myself feel better.
And so if it's okay with you, I thought I'd get the ball rolling with a personal story.
Now, when people are playing soccer, you have to kick the ball. There's a lot of kicking going on. And someone can say that they get a kick out of something, which means that they really enjoy something, they really like it. I get a kick out of watching World Cup matches. I get a kick out of riding a motorcycle. I hope that you guys get a kick out of watching our English lessons, and will hit that like button down below. Another great expression is a game changer. So if something is a game changer, then that means that there was some new idea, something happened that really shifted the game in one way or another. So in sports, somebody maybe gets injured and that's a game changer. Or even in business, maybe you have a new computer system that's going to help you and you say, wow, this is a game changer. There's many ways that we can use this expression, but if there's some new idea, something revolutionary that is going to change the way that we do things, it's a game changer.
It's a game changer. It's a key. It can break into any system.
I met a girl.
Oh, really?
Spending all this time with her, and she is a game changer.
It's kind of a game changer.
Come on. We need a game changer.
This next idiom is one that I think I also use a lot, and that is a game plan. So if you have a game plan, it means that you have a strategy for doing something, that you have a plan of action that you are going to execute in order to succeed. You must have a game plan. So if you're playing soccer or any sports for that matter, you need to have a game plan. You have to have a strategy to win. And in business, you need a game plan if you're going to do some negotiations. In school, you need a game plan if you're working on some project. Even if you're organizing an event for a friend, you need a game plan. So in soccer, there are referees out there on the field, and they carry a whistle. And sometimes they might blow the whistle. And when you blow the whistle on someone, it means that you're calling this person out for doing something wrong, maybe something even illegal, and you're reporting it to the proper authorities. You can blow the whistle on another person. You could blow the whistle on a company, on an organization. If somebody's done something wrong, you can report it. You can let everyone know, and you are blowing the whistle on that person or company. We can also change this idiom around and make it a noun and say that someone is a whistleblower. And if someone's a whistleblower, then that person is the one who reported the wrongdoing that is happening. They're a whistleblower. Blow the whistle on someone.
Never blow the whistle on family.
And thanks for not blowing the whistle on us.
You called me the other day. You were going to blow the whistle, right?
Another great soccer expression, which is also, it's relevant to any sports out there, is to say, oh, we were robbed. And to be robbed means that something happened that was unjust, that you don't think is fair. Maybe you just barely missed the goal, or maybe there was a penalty and you disagree with it. You'd say, ah, we were robbed. A very common expression is to take sides. So if you're thinking about soccer, you have two different sides of the field. one team is on one side, the other team is on the other side. And you take sides. You are cheering for one team. So if you are taking sides, it means that you are supporting one over the other. And this is very common because it's used often when two people disagree about something and another person is there and they're trying to figure out, okay, who do I agree with? Whose side am I taking?
Everyone's taking sides and splitting into groups.
Well, if Bernadette's on Amy's team, I pick Howard. I'm not taking sides. Fine, because I'm stuck with Raj.
I'm sorry.
Oh, right. Take his side.
I am not taking his side.
Well, whose side are you taking?
You guys are besties. Someone should apologize. I don't want to take sides.
One could be forgiven for thinking you're taking your family's side in this debate.
I am taking their side.
Next is to be on a roll. And if a sports team is on a roll, that just means that they have been very successful lately. They've been winning a lot. They have a streak of success. So you guys are learning these idioms and expressions, and you're learning so much English. I could say, yeah, you know, you're on a roll. Keep it up. You're doing great. You guys rock.
Today we're talking about 10 dessert idioms. They're all related to dessert, but they all mean different things. If you want to relax with a piece of cake and an English video, subscribe to our channel. Hungry yet? Number 1, piece of cake. It just means that something is very, very easy, just like eating cake. This lesson is a piece of cake.
And every task you undertake becomes a piece of cake.
Number 2, to have your cake and eat it too. This idiom means you cannot have it both ways. You can't have your cake and still eat it, because if you eat it, it's gone. You don't have it anymore. I have it and I'm eating it and now, oops, it's gone. And this relates to life by telling you that you cannot have everything that you want. Think of somebody who maybe is working all the time and making a lot of money to get a really nice house. But they can't enjoy the house because they're always at work. You can't have your cake and eat it too. We travel a lot, but it's part of our work, so we're not on vacation when we travel. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Number 3, icing on the cake. Icing on the cake means something that makes something good even better or something bad even worse. So it really amps up a situation. I had a bad day at work, but the icing on the cake is that the car broke down on my way home.
It felt so great. I just wanted to go in and hit 4 for 4 and qualify for Worlds one last time. And winning was just icing on the cake.
Number 4, to sugarcoat something. This means to make something seem better, more pleasant, or more acceptable than it is. To sugarcoat it. When my friend asked me what I thought about her new haircut, I had to sugarcoat my response so I wouldn't hurt her feelings.
You don't have to sugarcoat it, I get the drill.
Number 5, easy as apple pie. What this means is that something is really, really, really easy, just like eating pie. So sometimes you see it as easy as apple pie, or sometimes you just see it easy as pie. So sometimes it has the apple and sometimes it doesn't. But it really just means that it's as easy as eating the pie, not making it, because making it's a little difficult. Learning English with us is as easy as apple pie. Number 6, flat as a pancake. I really like this one. I don't know why. It's probably one of my favorites. So you know a pancake, it's very, very flat. It doesn't have any ridges or any bumps or anything. It just means that something is very, very flat. My hometown is flat as a pancake. There are no mountains or hills.
Flat as a pancake, huh?
Number 7, nutty as a fruitcake. Now, I don't have a fruitcake to show you because I couldn't find one today, but you have to trust me, they're very nutty. They have a lot of nuts. But when we say that someone is nutty, it also means that they're a little crazy. So when someone is nutty as a fruitcake, it can mean anything from just being a little silly to completely crazy. Nutty as a fruitcake. Don't pay attention to Wes. He's nutty as a fruitcake.
Well, I can save you the trouble. You're nutty as a fruitcake.
Number 8. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Now this idiom really means that's how life works. I can't believe I didn't win the painting contest. Ah, well, that's the way the cookie crumbles.
I'm Bruce Nolan, and that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Number 9, to sell like hotcakes. This means that something sells very well or is very, very successful. Every time a new iPhone comes out, they sell like hotcakes. Number 10, to have a sweet tooth. A person who has a sweet tooth loves sweets. They love desserts. Okay? So, for example, I have a huge sweet tooth. I love all kinds of desserts and sugar, and my favorite is chocolate. Ioana has a huge sweet tooth. She prefers sweets over food.
Here you go, Sonny. A little something for the old sweet tooth.
So that was it for the 10 idioms. I hope you like them and I hope you're not too hungry. Now it's time to practice what we've learned. I want you to look at the sentence and choose the best answer to complete the sentence. Say your answer out loud. My exam went great. I finished quickly because it was... Is it A, flat as a pancake, B, nutty as a fruitcake, or C, easy as apple pie? The correct answer is C, easy as apple pie. When an exam is easy, you probably finish it quickly. So, during this lesson, we ate a lot. But we learned even more, no? Now you have 10 dessert idioms that you can use anytime, not just when you want something sweet. I think this lesson was as easy as apple pie, don't you? If you think so too, please give this video a thumbs up.
If you'd like to express hope and inspiration, then this lesson is for you. Hey everyone, my name is Wes. This is Interactive English, which is all about helping you practice and improve your English skills. And today I want to talk to you about some idioms that you can use to help give other people some hope and inspiration, especially if they've been feeling a little down and just need that extra encouragement to get through some situation in life. So the first idiom that I have for you is keep your chin up. So this idiom means that you want to encourage someone to, stay positive if they are going through a difficult situation. You want them to keep their chin up. And this idiom comes from, when people feel a little sad, typically their head might be down. So you're telling them, you're basically saying, keep your chin up. Things are going to get better, and you just want to give them that little bit of encouragement to stay positive in some difficult situation. Keep your chin up. Often, I think it's used as a standalone statement. It's kind of like you're giving somebody a command and saying, hey, keep your chin up, all right? Things are going to get better. Stay positive. Keep your chin up.
Anyway, keep your chin up. You keep plugging, and good things will happen.
Keep your chin up, don't stop caring.
Hey, I'm gonna keep working on that for you. Just keep your chin up.
The next idiom is, hang in there. And this idiom, it also means to encourage someone to keep trying, especially when they are going through some difficult situation. To keep trying, don't give up, just hang in there. You can do it. When I think of somebody using like hang in there, I think that person is doing something, that they're actually doing some kind of work or activity, and they're doing something that they don't want to do, and they are having to endure this thing. So you may hear this used again as just a standalone statement, somebody saying, just hang in there, you can do it. Or they might say, I need you to hang in there, especially if they are encouraging you to finish because maybe you're working together and you're like, I need you to hang in there. Or maybe you're talking about yourself and you're telling somebody and they're listening to your problems and you say, I'm just having a tough time hanging in there. And then the other person might tell you, stay positive, keep your chin up. So again, these are very useful idioms to offer that hope and inspiration.
Have a plan, and I am going to save our jobs. Hang in there.
Please just hang in there a little longer.
Okay, it's okay, Theo. Just hang in there.
Next is the expression break a leg. And this is used just to tell somebody good luck. So instead of saying good luck, you can just replace it with this idiom and say break a leg. So you would often hear it right before somebody is getting ready to do something such as a performance. And instead of saying good luck, you say break a leg. They're getting ready to start the competition. Could be a sport competition, an academic competition. And before they begin, you could say, hey, break a leg. You could even use it together with good luck and say, good luck, break a leg. I believe in you. I want to give you that hope. So just go out there, do your best, break a leg.
Grab your scripts, people. We open in 20 minutes. Break a leg.
Thank you. Break a leg, Chuck.
Circus floor on a wire no wider than a human thumb.
It is time.
Well, break a leg.
Then we have in the bag. And if you say that something is in the bag, it means that you are sure of success or you are sure of accomplishing something. You're very confident in something, and you might hear somebody say just a general statement like, hey, it's in the bag. When giving somebody a little bit of hope or inspiration, I think this idiom could be used to offer some reassurance to somebody who may not be confident about what's going to happen. And you tell them, don't worry, I think you can do it. It's in the bag. You're going to have success. It's in the bag.
Don't worry, this is in the bag.
I've got him dead to rights. Fingerprints, witnesses, it's in the bag.
They may be damn good if they hope to stay.
Relax, Tom. It's in the bag.
The next idiom, and it's also a very popular expression, and that is sky's the limit. And if somebody says, the sky's the limit, then it just means that there is no limit to your success, to your aspirations. And this is a great way to offer someone some inspiration by telling them, to keep going, that they can continuously grow and develop and succeed. And you can express that by saying, sky's the limit. For example, I could try to offer you some inspiration if you're having some difficulty and telling you, just keep going. I hope you keep learning with us throughout this year. There's so much that you can achieve and accomplish and grow. The sky's the limit.
Well, I turned this one into a functioning boyfriend, so sky's the limit.
When they say the sky's the limit,
What do you want for your birthday, big dog?
It's okay, I'm good.
Come on. Sky's the limit. Dream big, my boy.
Then we have the idiom, the world is your oyster. And again, I think this is often used as a standalone statement, and somebody would just tell another person, the world is your oyster. And what it means is that this person, the person that you're telling this to, will have many different opportunities to do things in their life or their career. There are so many choices that they will have. You could tell them the world is your oyster. Often I think it's used when somebody is talking to a younger person, that they have their whole life ahead of them and they can do all these different things, and you can express that by telling them, the world is your oyster. You have so many options, so many choices. Take advantage of it. The world is your oyster.
I'm telling you, kid, from now on, the world is your oyster.
I could do anything. All bets are off. The world is my oyster.
You're a beautiful young girl. The world is your oyster.
Next is the idiom, and this is one of my favorites, and that is light at the end of the tunnel. And somebody would say this when they want to express that the situation is going to improve or it is going to end, especially if it is a difficult or challenging situation. It will improve or it's going to end. That is the light at the end of the tunnel. So think about the exact meaning of what this would say. So if you are in a tunnel, it's very dark, it's a little scary, nobody wants to be there. You're looking for your way out of this tunnel. And then you see this light up ahead, and you know that it's going to end or things are going to improve. That is what it means, light at the end of the tunnel. And the reason why I really like this idiom is because I think you could use it in any situation. No matter how bad or horrible it is, you can always try to find some sort of light at the end of the tunnel. And it's a great way to offer somebody that hope, the light at the end of the tunnel.
But I finally feel like I'm at a place where I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
The light at the end of the tunnel is the finish line.
This is just my luck. Finally catch a break at the office, finally see some light at the end of the tunnel, and wham! Gone!
Then we have the statement, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Now, this is a statement that's used for a specific situation because what it means is that you are basically telling somebody who has ended their relationship that they should stay positive and that things are going to be okay because there are plenty of other people out there that they can have another romantic relationship with. So I think you would hear this idiom or even use this idiom often when somebody has ended their relationship and you're trying to reassure them that, hey, things are going to be okay. Don't worry about it. You will meet somebody else. There's plenty of fish in the sea. Now, you could also say, just to throw in a little bit of grammar, there are plenty of fish in the sea because fish can be both singular and plural. So no matter what, the meaning is still the same. There are plenty of fish in the sea, or you're trying to reassure somebody else, there's plenty of fish in the sea.
Point is, you're the best guy I know. You'll get over her. There's plenty of other fish in the sea.
Another sign from the universe that I'll never find love. Hey, come on, pal. There's plenty of fish in the sea.
I say there are plenty of fish in the sea.
Then we have to look on the bright side. And if somebody says this, it means that you should be cheerful and positive even though some kind of bad situation has occurred. And usually when somebody tells you, look on the bright side, they will then tell you something to stay positive about or something that is, good news or cheerful, even though there's been some terrible situation. So let me give you an example. Say that somebody has lost their job, all right? That's terrible. That's a bad situation, and somebody might be pretty sad or down about that. And you want to give them a little bit of inspiration. So you tell them, hey, look on the bright side. And when you say this to your friend, you need to tell them why they should be cheerful. So in this case, maybe you say, hey, look on the bright side. You have always wanted to move to this other place, but you couldn't do that. The job was keeping you here. Now you're free. So look on the bright side. You can move to this other place, try to find a new job. It's what you've always talked about doing. Look on the bright side.
Look on the bright side. I mean, at least you won't have to live with this ugly chair.
Don't cry. Look on the bright side. We get to see our lives flash before our eyes.
If all our hair falls off, our wives won't want us anymore.
Well, there you go. Look on the bright side.
Then we have the idiom, pull yourself together. And this is an idiom that means that you need to gain control over your emotions and you need to start acting normal again and behaving normal. So I think often it may be used as like a command, somebody telling you, pull yourself together. You need to pull yourself together. If something happens and you are angry or you are frantic and you start, you start panicking, then that is when another person could tell you, hey, pull yourself together, start behaving normal so that you can solve this problem. Or you could even use it and talk about yourself, and you're telling someone, I need to pull myself together. I need to get it together and start behaving normal so that I can solve this problem and get my life in order. I need to pull myself together.
3 hours ago, you made the situation worse.
Russell, pull yourself together. Pull yourself together, Teddy. Pull yourself together.
You know what? I could actually use a drink just to pull myself together.
Next is fingers crossed. And this just means that you are telling somebody that you hope that they will achieve something that will happen in the future or something successful will come to pass and that you've got your fingers crossed. So you can say this to somebody else if they are telling you the things that they want to do, that they want to accomplish, and you say, fingers crossed. I believe in you. I'm hoping for you. Or you could say that about yourself, that you wish something will happen in the future that would be good for you. And you're trying to kind of express a little bit of hope in your own situation. And you could say, you know, I've got my fingers crossed. I have now... I lost my job. I tried to look on the bright side. I have moved to this other place. I have applied for a new job, and I'm waiting to hear back from them. I've got my fingers crossed.
Good luck on your tenure review. Make me proud.
Fingers crossed.
How about you? I heard that interview went well.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, well, let's just say this is gonna be great. Fingers crossed.
Then we have blessing in disguise. And this just describes a situation that appears bad at first, but actually turns out to be pretty good. And often I think it's used to reflect back on a past situation because something was bad and then since then, you know, some good things happen. So when you think back about that first bad situation, you could refer to it and say, you know, it was a blessing in disguise. Let me give you an example, and we'll stick with that same story, all right? Somebody loses their job, and they try to look on the bright side, and they move to a place that they've always wanted to live. They applied for a new job, kept their fingers crossed, and got that new job. And then, maybe they met the love of their life, and they got married, and they had a family. And then when they think back about that initial situation, all right, they lost their job and, they could say, hey, it was a blessing in disguise. So quite often you may use it to reflect back on a past situation, or you could also use it if you're trying to give somebody hope and inspiration who is actually in a bad situation now, and you try to reassure them and say, hey, maybe it's a blessing in disguise that even though there's just this terrible situation now, in the future, there will be some good that may come out of it. It's a blessing in disguise.
I got fired from running the Sweetums Foundation.
Thanks to me. Sorry again.
Hey, blessing in disguise. I took a job at this accounting firm.
So you see, George, the whole incident was a God blessing. Yeah.
You mean a blessing in disguise?
Yeah.
All I'm saying is maybe this is a blessing in disguise. I don't know who the father is. What?
So now I want to do a quick review as I offer you an inspirational message, okay? So I would tell you, I know that learning English can be challenging and difficult, but I want you to keep your chin up. Because even though it may feel that you're not making any type of progress whatsoever and that you're not improving, you really are. You need to take comfort in the fact that your skills are getting better and better each and every day that you practice. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that light is English fluency. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep watching our video lessons. Keep practicing a little bit each and every day. Write to us in the comments. I want you to just hang in there and keep working hard and don't give up. Because to be perfectly honest, when it comes to learning another language, there is so much that it will help you with about whether it's getting a job, meeting other people. There's so many ways that languages can help us learn and grow. Sky's the limit. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson, learned some new idioms, as well as feel a little more inspired, perhaps after my message, all right? If you did, then hit that like button down below. Let me know.
Are you hungry? I hope you are. Hungry for knowledge. Thought that wink would come out better. Thought I'd have a sexy wink, but it's just the way I have something in my eye. So let's learn some food idioms. If you want to improve your English, have fun, and learn even more idioms, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We love making these videos to help our students improve their English skills. Today we are talking about some super common food idioms. Now, when I was preparing for this lesson, there were so many food idioms to choose from, but these ones are the ones that I heard again and again and again, so they're very common. You can hear them everywhere, and it's fun because who doesn't like to talk about food? Yeah, exactly. Everyone likes to talk about food. Now, I'm gonna do my disclaimer that I do for every idiom video that I make. You can use idioms at any time. You can use these idioms at any time, but just keep in mind that idioms are a little bit more informal. Don't use them on job applications or any kind of formal English context. So keep that in mind and come on, let's have some fun with food idioms. The first one, number 1, is bread and butter. One of my favorite food combinations. I'm going to say that a lot in this video because I kind of love all food, especially good food, you know, like good bread and good butter. Well, bread and butter means somebody's main source of income. It just means how somebody makes their money, their main source of income. For example, for Wes and I, teaching is our bread and butter. Working in the factory is his bread and butter. Number 2, cool as a cucumber. I love this one because cucumbers are among my favorite vegetables and I am always cool as a cucumber. No, I'm not. Because somebody who's cool as a cucumber is calm and relaxed. And I am known to be a little stressed sometimes. So I always tell myself, you wanna be cool as a cucumber. And it works like half the time. But that's what it means, very calm and relaxed. She remained cool as a cucumber in this stressful situation. Number 3, not my cup of tea. And this means it's just something that you are not interested in or something that you just don't like. Naturally, I love tea. Oh, maybe I should... Okay. Back in. Now this is my cup of tea and it's huge. As you can see, it's as big as my face. And I love tea, so having tea is my cup of tea. That makes sense. I'm sorry if that's confusing. I'll give you another example. Hold on, I need to have my tea. Okay. Going to bed after midnight is not my cup of tea. Number 4, in a nutshell. And in a nutshell means in the fewest possible words. So if you can imagine a little nutshell, it's very, very small. I'm imagining like a little pistachio. They're very, very small. So in a nutshell just means very little, saying something in as few words as you can. What happened at the meeting? Tell me in a nutshell. Number 5, to put all your eggs in one basket. This is a piece of advice which means that you shouldn't concentrate all of your efforts and resources in one area because that means that you could lose everything. And it could refer to anything from feelings to money to hopes and dreams and things like that. So don't put all of your eggs in one basket. When planning your investments, it's unwise to put all of your eggs in one basket. Number 6, spice things up. Notice how I said that? This one gets me happy because I love spices, of course. I told you I love food. But to spice things up means to change things, change a boring routine into something more exciting, to change things up. This expression is commonly found when we're talking about relationships, and I mean romantic relationships. Maybe sometimes you want to spice things up and you want to do something different, like go on a vacation or do something crazy with your loved one. So to spice things up means to make things a little bit more exciting and different than you normally do. They spice things up by taking a romantic getaway. Number 7, bring home the bacon. Now, I'm not a huge fan of bacon, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, what, you want? Are you crazy? Why don't you like bacon? I don't really like it. But I'm a huge fan of this idiom. To bring home the bacon doesn't refer to actual bacon, but instead to material success, like money. Bring money, make money. That is really what it means. Bring home the bacon, bring home the money, make money. That's what it's about. I don't know why I got so excited. I don't even really like bacon that much. We both bring home the bacon. Number 8 is a lemon, and I have a story about this one. When I was younger, I didn't really know what a lemon was supposed to be, and I kept hearing car commercials, and they kept talking about, you won't get a lemon. You won't get a lemon from Toyota of Orange. And I just kept wondering, what is going on? Why would I want a lemon? Why would I buy a lemon at the car dealer? It was very confusing. Until I found out later that a lemon is something that doesn't work very well. Usually we talk about lemons when we refer to machines or cars. So a car that just doesn't work very well, it's just called a lemon. I don't really hear it about people. Like we don't say, oh, that person's a lemon. It's mostly about things that don't work. You do not want to buy a lemon. Oh no! It's clear that he bought a lemon. Number 9, spill the beans. Now this means to reveal secret information, but you don't just reveal it, you kind of do it indiscreetly or by mistake. That's like when you're spilling something, it's not usually intentional. So it's not something that you want to do, to spill the beans. Just like you don't want to spill beans. You don't want that, you get a mess. Shh, don't spill the beans, it's a secret. And number 10, our final one for today, is cheesy. Now you're probably thinking, cheesy is good, right? Who doesn't love cheese? Cheese is great, so cheesy must be even better. But it's not. It actually doesn't have a good connotation. Something cheesy is usually inferior or cheap or of low quality. Now cheesy can be used to describe many things, from feelings to people to objects. So you can have a cheesy smile, which is not good, or you can have a cheesy outfit, which is also not good. Or maybe you can have or say a cheesy pickup line, which is really, really not good.
Hey, you know what would look good on you? Me.
Are you tired?
No, why?
Because you've been running through my mind all day?
You know, it's dangerous for you to be here in the frozen food section.
Why is that?
Because you could melt all this stuff.
So, even though we love cheese, we do not want to be cheesy. I've said this word so much that now I really, really, really want some cheese. Those pajamas are so cheesy. Okay, so now that you've learned all of these 10 new, beautiful, fabulous food idioms, I want you to use them. So please, please, please write a sentence in the comments using one of these wonderful 10 food idioms that we learned today. And if you want to choose more than one, go crazy, choose 2, 3. You are more likely to remember these words. In fact, I guarantee that you'll remember them. And if you want even more practice, join our social media classes. They are so much fun and you will learn so much. So do it, join it, join. Now I hope you've enjoyed this lesson and that now you will spice things up and use some of these idioms in your everyday conversations. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.